All right, what's up, everybody? We are back again today with a new installment. As you may have noticed, I intend to do a video on tuning today. I got a brand new build for me right here with the new Betaflight board. It needs a tune, so I'm here to show you guys what it is that I do when I tune a quad. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm just gonna go to a clean profile, profile 3. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that it has the same rates as mine. That's what I like here, 8287.35, 7.35. Got it, save that. So what I typically will do on a new build, that was weird. I am gonna go ahead and set up my yaw P at 90, yaw I around 45. That sounds about right to me. I will set the pitch and roll P's at a value that I expect to be much lower than what I actually need. So we'll start off with 40. That should be a good bit below what I need on pitch and roll P. I then zero out the pitch and roll I and D. So we got 0I, 0D on pitch and roll. So it's going to be very unstable on the pitch and roll. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it sharp inputs on roll and pitch. And we're going to be looking for how much bounce we get. If there's no bounce, then the P is way too low. There should be some bounce, but not too much. If we give it a sharp input and it just sits there and goes brrrr forever afterwards, then that is bad. What we want is after the sharp input with no I or D for it to bounce 2 to 3 times. So just blah, 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 and we're gonna raise the P until we get just 2 or 3 bounces after a sharp input on both pitch and roll. All right, so let's go do that. Okay, so now we're ready for our line of sight tests. I have my goggles here because this quad with Betaflight has an OSD that allows me to change the PIDs and completely tune it inside of Betaflight. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and we will commence to testing. You might not be able to see it just yet, but once it gets up and hovering here in front of us, you'll be able to see it. So again, I'm just looking for 2 to 3 bounces at the end of sharp stick inputs. So here we go. Okay, so not quite enough on the pitch axis. Maybe just a little bit more on roll. That's not quite as low as... So now I'm going to go into the OSD and raise the roll P by just a little bit and the pitch P by quite a bit. So here we go. Roll P is going to go to 43. Pitch P I'm going to take to about 48. And back, and save and reload. I'm going to go ahead and record on the GoPro just in case you guys can't see the quad from the line of sight tests. It would be helpful if I had a cameraman here, but that's just not the case. All right, you see that? We got, oh now. Yeah, that's looking about right there. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, that could go up a little bit more, so I'm gonna do that real quick here. All right, now I'm gonna go in here. We go to 4.5 on the roll P, 45 on roll P. I'm gonna go to 51 on pitch P. So we got 45 on roll P, 51 on pitch P, and let's see just how that one looks. All right, that's better. Better on pitch, roll. I think I can go just a notch higher on the pitch. All right, I'm gonna take it to 53. So now we're still at 46 on roll P and 53 on pitch P. So now here we go. Give it a little test. Roll still good. Oh yeah, pitch is much better now. All right, Bring it back in. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by raising the D, and we're gonna raise D until there are no more bounce back at the end of sharp stick inputs. Okay, so, all right, so roll D, I'm gonna take it up to, actually, let's go 18. I think 18 might be close to enough, but not quite. And pitch D, I'm gonna go to 20. All right, so those numbers I'm just kind of pulling out of my experience with tuning. They should be around about the same numbers. We'll probably have to tweak them up just a little bit. So here we go. All right, I hear just a little bit of bounce on that, on the pitch. All right. Roll might be okay. No, roll's needs a little bit more too. All right, I doubt that you can probably even see that line of sight. I can hardly even see it line of sight. I'm actually going off of what I hear, and I hear a little bit of a bounce at the end of those inputs. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise that up. We've also got the GoPro going on the quad, so hopefully we can show you that and you can see just that little bit of bounce. Not a whole lot, but it's there. Okay, so I have upped it to 21 on the roll D and 23 on the pitch D. So here we go with a little test of that. I still hear a little bit on the pitch. And I think roll is very close. That is gonna bring us to 23 on roll D. And you know, I'm going 2 on roll to 23 on roll D and 3 on pitch to 26 on roll pitch.
30 seconds.
I'm sorry, on roll pitch to 26 on pitch D. So another line of sight test. All right, I don't hear any bounce there. They call roll and pitch P and D both tuned for my line of sight tuning. Okay, so now we are on to tuning both our pitch and roll I values, okay? And so let me just give you a quick note. The reason that I just threw those numbers on yaw is yaw usually has the widest range of values that it will fly acceptable with. So I just put numbers in there that I know have worked in the past, and if in my experience the yaw feels a little bit sloppy, I'll raise that yaw P, or if it feels like I'm getting a little bit of oscillations on yaw, I will lower it. But you know, 90 and 45 on the P and I should be pretty good. Without further ado, let's go ahead and tune the I. Now, what I do to tune I is a little bit different from both the P and D values, because I looks at things that happen over time or outside forces on the quad. So what I will do for this is I will just sit there and hover it, get it kind of level, and pulse the throttle so that the quad bounces up and down. And if you don't have enough I, it'll tend to drift on the roll or the pitch axis. And if I see it drifting, then I know I need to raise my I in order to compensate for that drift. Once it quits drifting, you've gotten high enough on your I. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now before I can get started, I need to have some kind of value in there for I. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set 20 on both the pitch and roll I. So now we got 20 on both pitch and roll I. I test number 1. Okay, now you notice how it's kind of moving forward away from me right now? And now it's drifting a little bit to the left and it's coming back at me. Well, that tells me that it is getting off axis on pitch. Because if it starts off drifting away and then slowly transfers to drifting towards you, or vice versa, and now it wasn't drifting to the left or right, but now it's drifting to the right. So I know that both pitch and roll I are not high enough, because it's having slow drifts over time, so it's not high enough to counteract any kind of outside forces, whether it's CG or just a little bit of breeze. It is changing on both the pitch and roll axis. So I'm gonna up those I's. I'm gonna go, I know All right, in the past, I ran around 35 on the I, but apparently they've kind of changed the weighting of some of these numbers because I know stock is now 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to 30 and see what we're at here at 30. All right, 30, both pitch and roll I. All right. All right, starting off drifting a little bit to the right, and it was drifting a little bit forward. It seems to be accelerating more towards the right. I know that's way off frame. All right, my right thumb is off of the right thumbstick, by the way, while I'm doing this. And it seems to still be accelerating more and more to the right. That acceleration probably is due to CG, and your CG will oftentimes be a little bit off on one axis or another. You want to get it as close to center as possible, but it's kind of good that it's off in this scenario because it gives us an idea of how the quad is reacting to the outside forces and if it is able to compensate and make up for a not perfect CG. Because let's face it, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to mount the battery perfect every single time. So I'm going to go ahead and up our eyes one more time. You know, I still feel like that 50 is just high, but what do I know? So I'm gonna go ahead and go to 40. Let's see what happens at 40 on the I. All right, saved and rebooted. So now both pitch and roll I are at 40. All right, right thumb is off. It's barely moving away from me. And now it's coming back towards me. So the pitch I, I'm gonna say, still needs some tweaking. All right, so here comes 45 on both roll and pitch eyes. All right, so come on, buddy. Just bounce right there in place for me. It still seems to be, it's still accelerating on that pitch. I'm gonna go up to, all right, 47 and 50. Oh yeah. So after that test, I'm gonna say roll is good. We still need just a little bit more from I. I'm sorry, the roll I is good. We still need just a little bit more from the pitch I. I'm gonna leave the roll I alone and go up to 55 on the pitch I. There we go. See, it's still just drifting a little bit away from me. Staying nice and stable. All right. That may still need a little bit of tweaking up, but I think that we are close. I think that we are close enough on this tune to give it a test FPV, and we're in a great location for doing some FPV flying. We're here at the stables. Been many a popular video created here. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap a new battery on this bad boy, and then we will get to doing a test flight through the stables, give us some sharp flips and rolls, see how it's handling that. And usually at this point in the tune, I am like almost spot on. Occasionally I'll have to bump the eyes a little bit. And what I'll be looking for once I go to fly it is I'm gonna do sharp flips and rolls and see how it handles the ends of those maneuvers, if I need to raise the D at all. And for the eye, anytime I'm going into a punch out, if I get kind of the butt sag or if it dips to one side, then I know that I need to raise the eye on the axis that it's getting off as I apply or release power. So let's go give that a shot. Time to go FPV this guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill in the parking lot for right now. I'm not gonna go on too much proximity stuff. Just give it some flips and rolls and see how it's feeling, and then if everything's going good, we'll head in. If not, we'll land and we'll tweak our numbers a little bit. All right, so on the punch outs and the releasing of the power, I am getting just a little bit of a dip on both pitch and roll. We're getting just a little bit of a dip there. I should have done some more flips and rolls. I am confident to say that I need a little bit more eye on this guy though. All right, 52 on the roll eye, 58 on the pitch eye. Much better, not having the same dip issues. Okay. Definitely need some more pitch D. Could use some more roll D as well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just raise those Ds before I swap batteries. So I'm going to take it the roll D up to 28, the pitch D up to 33. Okay, so that's rebooting. I'm going to get a new battery and we'll give this another test. 1 second. Okay, just a quick update. In the break while I was changing batteries, I decided to go...
Telemetry recovered. 8.9 volts.
I decided to go with 48 and 55 on the I, on both the eyes. So roll 48, pitch 55 on I. All right, feeling very nice. Okay, yes, it is feeling very crisp and sharp. Not noticing any oscillations. The TPA, oh, John, calling me, screwing everything up. Okay, the TPA for it is whatever stock TPA settings come on Betaflight these days. I didn't tweak that. I will usually tweak TPA by looking for micro oscillations in the footage afterwards. So I don't tip, and to do that, I always like to look at the footage on my desktop with a bigger screen. So I don't really want, I want to fly through the stables, but I also need this quad for more thorough testing in terms of comparisons between Betaflight KISS and race flights. So I don't want to destroy it either just yet. That was a little bit under rotation. So I don't want to destroy it just yet. Oh, a little bit of bounce there on that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Did I change the Ds? I think I forgot to raise the pitch D there. So I would continue to tweak this as we go. I may bring you guys along with me while we do this, but for now I need to get moving over to John's so that I can get my race flight quad properly set up. So we're going to continue this tuning session over at Schizo's house because he keeps calling me, wondering where I'm at. I'm due over there. I do need to either raise the D on the pitch and roll slightly, or I might have just gotten my P a little bit too high. So I'm going to go and we're going to go over there and I'm going to tweak it some more. You don't want to get too high on the D. Ooh, I need, speaking of which, how warm are my motors? The motors are all very cool. Very, very cool. So I'm not concerned that I'm too high. I'm probably gonna just raise the D a little bit and it should be just fine. So let's pack it up and roll over to John's house. Okay, so through the magic of making videos, we are now over at John's house. Last one, I swear, we're gonna bump that D up and we ought to be just right perfect. So I'm gonna bump the D up in the OSD and then we are gonna go with one final flight and see just how it's doing. Oh, that's snappy. I like that. Okay. Really quite nice. Yeah. Now, guys, to be very clear, normally on these types of maneuvers, I would be doing a good deal of stick smoothing myself. I am trying to give it the most aggressive that I can in order to just see how well it is doing at stopping. So if I was doing this, see, that's with a little bit of smoothing. So yeah, it does have just a little bit of bounce at the end if I try to make it have bounce. But if I try to smooth it like this there, it's fine. So roll, fine. Oh yeah, okay, now let's do a flip. Yeah. That's got it. Let's give it one really sharp one now. That's about the most amount of bounce back I can make it have. And yeah, there's a little bit there, but with just a little bit of effort, it's gone. So I'm gonna land here.
4.
All right, that's gonna be it. I know I didn't do any kind of crazy epic flying, but that is how I get my quad tuned. Are some of the numbers very close to stock PIDs? Yes, they are. Are some of them wildly off? Yes, they are. Those Ds are much higher than the stock tune on Betaflight these days, but it's kind of where I had to get it tuned in the way that I want. Hopefully when I look at this footage later, there's not many oscillations. If there's a lot of micros, I might have to bump the TPA up, but we'll see just how that is when the time comes. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm always tweaking my tune, so this is by no means complete, but I would feel comfortable going and flying just about any scenario with this tune, and feel pretty confident that I was going to come home with very usable footage. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you found it helpful, click that like button, subscribe, come back for more content. I'm going to be coming back with all sorts of more content about Betaflight, raceflight, KISS in the coming days. I have my I have my Betaflight and KISS all set up. And now it's time to get raceflight up and running with raceflight 1. And I'm going to let you guys know what I think about all 3 of them. So stick around for those videos. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. We'll see you next time, guys. All right, bye.